right, I show noon. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for all joining us for this week's lunchtime chat with Tlingit Haida to talk about our upcoming youth summit. My name is Sarah Dibdahl, and I'm the Senior Director for the Cultural Heritage and Education Department here at Tlingit Haida. And before I kick it off to our amazing crew with us today, I'll just go ahead and do a brief introduction. Tlingit Anshawat ki yuchat duasak, Glake Kak, Hainach, Sarah Dibdal yuchat duasak, Yek Nahatsati, Takwa ne di ayachat, Kakusatan, Yadi, Hinya Kwandach. My name is Sarah Dibdal, and I'm so honored to have the opportunity to be here amongst our leaders, our young leaders who have taken up the call to step in and provide a voice around our Youth Commission and our Youth Summit. And if I could go ahead and go with our introductions before I go with our opening remarks. Tia, can I kick you off, please?
Nakchish, Sarah. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Teodora Silva Martin. My Tlingit name is Gludas. I am from Angoon, Alaska, but I currently live in Juneau. Right now, I am sitting on the Youth Commission Board as the first Vice President. I also work at Tlingit Haida as environmental stewardship tech. I also wanted to add I am involved with See Alaska as the Board Youth Advisor. Thank you, Sarah. Drew, you're next.
Drew, are you still there with us?
Yeah, I'm here. My bad.
Okay, no, that's okay.
So Tlingit Kagu Aksai, Tleka Khenach Drew Jackson, Yuchat Duasak, Yel Ka Ka Chirina Khatsitin, Yel Ka Ga Duahen, Ki Kwan Dach Ayachat. My name is Kagu. In English, my name is Drew. I am of the Raven Moiety and the Kach Adi clan. We claim the Raven and the Sakai clan crests, and I am from Cake. And right now, I am currently the second VP for the Youth Commission. And for right now, I am still in Cake.
Cool, thank you, Drew. Hi, everyone. Kud kitla yuchat duasak, yek nachat seti kluk nachari ayachat. My name is Kud Kitla. Another name is Patrice. I am a part of the Raven Coho clan, and as of now, I got the secretary position, so I'm super excited to be here. Something I've been working on lately is dedicating my time to the NYO, Native Youth Olympics. We just got back from Fairbanks. Our team did really well. I'm super proud of them. I think we ended up taking home 27 of the medals. So they've been putting in a lot of hard work. I'm really proud of them. So cheese.
Hi, my name is Christiana Edwards. I am Tlingit Haida. My clan is Raven Dog Salmon, and I am hard of hearing, and I am the member at large.
Hi everyone. Andach June Yechat Duasak, Laikach Hinach Sabina Yechat Duasak, Ganach TD Nachat Siti, Kagwantan Yadi. And I apologize if my dog is barking in the background, but I am Andach June or Sabina. I am originally from Sitka, Alaska. I am currently the other member at large for the Youth Commission, and I am currently a PhD student at the University of Chicago, where my research has to do with Tlingit oral history and climate change.
Hello, Klugunk Yuchat Duasak, Chukansha Ayachat. My name is Renee Culp, or Klugunk. I am the Navigators, Tlingit Haida Navigators Program Coordinator, and have the distinct privilege of lifting up not only these officers, but the Youth Commission with all of their peer delegates. Gonna sheesh for having us here today, Sarah.
Goodness, sheesh. And before we get started, Tlingit Haida has been hosting the lunchtime chats now for about 1.5 years and has realized just the benefits that it has brought, the information and the sharing amongst our tribal citizens just across the world. And so to continue with that and sharing the work that's being done and how our youth and tribal citizens can stay engaged, today's lunchtime chat will be with our Youth Commission officers and their advisor, Renee, who's here with us to get the word out about the exciting opportunities that are on the horizon. It's been such amazing to be able to see the work that this group has been doing alongside with the support of the navigators, and just so excited to hear you guys breathe life into the upcoming opportunities. So with that, if I could go ahead and get started with the questions and share with those that are on with us today. To start us off, what does a delegate on the Youth Commission do? I'm sure a lot of our tribal citizens are curious about that. So if you guys, those that are on the commission, could share your thoughts. Don't be shy. Go ahead and share. If we can go ahead and just popcorn off each other.
I can go first. So the Youth Commission in our last meetings, we've been working with FAI on working on some advocacy training. Our next meetings, we're really going to be focusing on working with Dr. Gail Cheney, who is with Tlingit Haida. We're going to be working on the goals of the Youth Commission and how they align with Tlingit Haida as a whole. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. Anybody else wants to pop in?
Do any of our other commissioners, would you like to share what it means or what our delegates are doing?
I believe that one of our goals are to bring, I'm trying to figure out how to say this, but I just know that when we are in the commission and we're trying to figure out how to get everybody into the meetings and try to figure out what is our goal and bring out to people to see what type of goals we need to get aware of.
Yeah, I could jump in as well. I think kind of echoing what both Christiana and Tia have said, that the most important job that we've had so far is just coming together and kind of showing up for ourselves and for our communities, and trying to, like they were saying, figure out what our goals are going forward, and bringing together this really interesting group of people, and kind of getting a lot of different experiences and a lot of different larger projects that we're interested in, and kind of trying to figure out, okay, where do we go from here and how can we best serve Tlingit Haida and serve our communities, and kind of go forward to elevate youth voices and try to figure out what we can do for the tribe, essentially.
I have one more thing to add. I forgot to bring it up. So when I am in the meetings and I have struggles when people are in the meetings and talking a lot and on the same time, and I'm hard of hearing, and I try to read everybody's lips at the same time when there are, but I would likely to have someone to be interpreting for me, and I want to bring that goal so that if another type of hard of hearing or deaf people coming in and having trouble struggling with understanding that what's going on with the meetings, and I prefer bringing the interpreter in.
Thank you for sharing that. You're right, ensuring that all of our tribal citizens have that opportunity to engage and participate at their best. Thank you, Christiana, for sharing that and how important it is that we scaffold and create opportunities as what you just shared. Drew, is there anything, and Patrice, is there anything that you would like to add to what it means to be a delegate, or what our delegates are doing?
Yeah, I wanted to add, I love what everyone shared. To me personally, it feels like a really safe space to come together and just to share your ideas, to voice your opinions. So far, the meetings that I've attended and I get to meet all these awesome people, I've felt really positive, and I appreciate that from all of you guys. So I just hope that we can continue on this path and create that safe space for our youth to be connected to each other.
Tia, I see you have your hand raised. Before we move on, is there something that you would like to share?
Yes, I actually just wanted to share. So this is a learning experience for all of us. We just started off in February and we're just trying to go with the ropes right now, but resolution training has been big in our meetings. So we're just trying to submit resolutions to Tlingit and Haida by September 10th in order to submit resolutions for tribal assembly. So I just wanted to put that out there that we are learning. And I really want to thank Maddie Soboff-Levy for stepping in and teaching us how to do that, and Renee, and it's great. I just love working with them and learning from them. It's been amazing. I just wanted to add that in there as well. Thank you.
Oh, so amazing. To have that opportunity to learn on our resolutions, especially coming from Southeast where Robert's rules and that process, that just sign me up. I need to come with you all. Going to our next question, you as a body with the Youth Commission advisors and now our established Youth Commission and officers have been putting in some really hard work to create opportunities. And one of the things is the Youth Summit. Can you guys share what the Youth Summit, the experience, what we anticipate it will be like, and the details to that, so everyone on here can learn about what's to come? And again, this is a question for all of you. So if you want to go ahead and popcorn in, I want to ensure that each of you have that opportunity to share your voice and won't ante and call on anybody, not yet.
I can pop in again if anybody else wants to cut me off. They're totally free to. The Youth Summit will be the gathering of our Tlingit and Haida Youth Commission. It's an open invitation to all of our peers. This year's Youth Summit will be a 3-day event. It's going to be held virtually over Zoom. And this is just to ensure the safety of the attendees, our families and communities.
That's awesome. Is there anything else regarding the Youth Summit as far as the dates and times that we would like to share? I recall, I think there's registration. Is registration open for the summit?
I don't know if this is part of the question, but I think I would want someone to come in the youth summit with positive attitude and have fun and just be yourself when you're in the part of the group or something like that. I'm not sure, but I'm trying to figure out how to say it.
Tia, you were starting to talk about this, about the work that the commission has been doing, being able to learn about the resolution process and working with Renee and Maddie Soboff-Levy, who is our in-house counsel on the resolution process. What are some of the opportunities for youth that are going to be joining and participating in the summit? What types of activities or workshops do you foresee as a commission providing to our youth? And I guess Tia and others, if you want to add to that.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah. For your previous question too, it's going to be held over Labor Day weekend. So it's going to be held on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that's going to be September 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The application process is now opened, and it's going to be on Tlingit and Haida's website, Instagram, Facebook pages. So I would watch out for that. During this work summit, there's going to be talking circles, so youth talking circles. We're going to give the youth opportunity to discuss the issues they are facing today. This is something that we've been talking about since February, and we're just kind of going through with it now. We'll hold working meetings, which delegates and attendees will have the opportunity to identify a few of the issues they'd like to address through action and draft resolutions and to be presented to Tribal Assembly. So that's our goal. Mixed in the working time, the delegates and attendees will have the opportunity to be inspired by keynote speakers and be engaged in learning in these workshops that could include our way of life, tribal government, and so much more. We just look forward to what everybody brings to the table during this youth summit.
Awesome, thank you on all that, on the details. I'm curious for our commissioners that are on here. What are some of those topics that are activities that you would like to see as you put your agenda together? Can each of you share just one of your ideas, or as you formulate the time together? And Patrice, can I call on you?
Yeah. So I had read somewhere along our notes that there would be like a beadwork workshop or some kind of art where all of us can be following along. And I really love that idea. I think coming together, and I've done projects through Zoom before, so it's doable. It's definitely doable. And it's really cool to see like the end products that people come up with. So if we could get something along those lines of like creating, even if it's just a little small like beaded flower or something, I think that would be awesome. Maybe we could create something larger. I don't know. Just things along those lines is something I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, anytime that we can learn how to bead and do all of that while we're together is, man, we have so many phenomenal beaders and those that make regalia. For the others on there, what are some other things that you're excited about during this that you would like to see? And I ask that also because I know that we're getting ready to, or we are going to be requesting proposals for to bring people in to lift you all up with their knowledge and expertise. And so if I could ask others, like, what are some of those other exciting things that you would like to see? Christiana, do you have any thoughts, or Drew and Sabina?
I'm more likely to be happy to see everyone participating, to be having fun and in general. I know there's a lot of really good artists doing beadings and stuff, and I would want to have. Sorry, my mom texted me. I'm trying to ignore my text. Most of the time I would be happy to see everyone participating. I don't know, up to somebody else too.
Yeah, I can jump in. I think we've had kind of like a couple of like themes that I've seen throughout our meetings, like in the discussions that we've been having. So I think it seems that the people on the commission are really concerned with issues like climate change and subsistence, and making sure that there's accessibility in like tribal programming, and then decolonization has come up, and like indigenizing different processes has been like a big theme in a lot of our meetings. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to kind of touch on those types of themes that just seem to be important to the people on the commission, and then kind of opening that up to the other youth who will be participating, and hopefully making that kind of a larger conversation and seeing how we can move those issues forward.
I have one more thing to add for one thing that I think it would be good to have on there for the, I know we have our difficulties by being at home all the time and not be eligible to go out in the world and spend time with your friends and families You have to be required to be vaccinated to some places and stuff. And I would want to have a little group circle and talk about what's going on with our difficulties in our area.
Miss Tia, I see that you have your hand up, and then after Tia, Drew, if you could share, we'd love to hear some of your thoughts on what you would like to see at the summit. But Tia, I see your hand up.
Yes, I just wanted to add a couple of extra side notes that we were talking about for the Youth Summit. One project we wanted to see was co-management for lands and waters. So that's something we hope to go through with. Another big one was the drug epidemic. So we want to create that positive change by establishing rehabilitation centers. So we want to try to reduce that harm and host workshops. So that's something that we've been talking about in our meetings, and I just wanted to put that out there. And also better access to recycling in small rural villages. We feel that that's very important. That kind of goes in with what Sabina talked about with climate change and just trying to be good stewards for our land and water. That's just something that we felt was very important. And I just wanted to share what we were talking about in these youth commission meetings. Thank you.
Oh gosh, those are all so important. And Drew, before I go on, I just want to see, is there one thing, exciting thing for you that you would like to see in the summit agenda and activities? So I know that there's all these phenomenal ideas of topics that you have shared and that are important to us as a people. When you think about presenters, who are some of those presenters that you would like to see, like put their names forward? Like, can we just call them out and tell them that they've been voluntold that we'd like to see proposals from them? Who are those people? Who are those agencies or organizations? When you think about recycling, when you think about the drug epidemic that we're seeing, in our communities. Do you have thoughts on that yet, or is that still being fleshed out? And Drew shared with us that his connection is coming in and out. So thank you, Drew, for letting me know that. I just want to make sure that we're creating space for your voice. When you do have that connection, feel free to jump in. But any particular names that come to mind, like?
I can pop in one more time. I don't want to take too much of the time, but I just want to say that FAI has been wonderful during this time and our process during Youth Commission. And I just feel like they're going to bring a lot to the table for us, and I think they're going to be great with us and partnering with us going forward with some of these projects. And it would be nice to see us working with like local organizations here, especially with the drug epidemic. And that's just something that's still in the works. So we haven't had too much thought about that. We just discussed this at our previous meeting.
Gosh, somebody just, shared and what a phenomenal idea. But like, you think about Lydia Jacoby, who just is a 17-year-old from Alaska, and the adversity, having somebody like that, or who are some of the other like motivational speakers that you think that just could come in and uplift our youth and give words of encouragement? Like, who are our all-stars? Christiana?
I think I don't have really a good name to pop up, but I was thinking to have some really good and powerful presenters to talk about some stuff around. I'm not sure, but I think we should have powerful speakers around and see what's happening and get everybody to listen and stuff like it around.
Yeah, so important. You know, we've been kind of talking about the agenda and like what we would like to see and the work that the commission is doing. And Renee, I know that as the advisor to this group, as staff, that there's been a lot leading up to even just being able to share this upcoming opportunity. Can you talk about how long this has been in the works and what the goals have been for the, you know, just Tlingit Haida as a tribe, but the advisors and staff?
Sure, definitely. Let's see, this has been in the actual physical works for not very long. As Tia identified, the commission has been going since February, and it was just a couple of months after that that we figured out, okay, we're going to hold a summit and let's try to hold it around tribal assembly. So it's all been a very fast process of planning this youth summit, but really the idea has been in people's hearts and minds for a long time. Shawan Jackson Gamble, who is our chair, when he was the emerging leader, he had the idea of bringing the youth commission to Tlingit Haida and having the opportunity for youth voices to have a space to share their ideas and thoughts with tribal assembly and make some action from this wonderful group of people. And part of that was the idea of bringing back a youth summit. I really enjoyed, Sarah, your story when I asked, I can't figure out the history of whether or not there's been a youth summit. And Tlingit Haida has had a youth summit in the past. And so we're just trying to really bring that back in what might be in today's world, not just virtually, but with this group of youth really helping advise the advisor of what it is that you want. And so although we're doing a lot of the lifting to make the nuts and bolts happen, I've really been leaning on the delegates to tell me what is it that you want to do during the youth summit. And this group of youth are very much interested in addressing the issues that they're facing today. And so a working summit is the direction that we went. Now, working all the time is not healthy. So bringing in some of that learning opportunity where we're having fun and whatnot. But so yeah, it's been in people's minds and hearts for decades, I believe. And then when Shawan a couple of years ago was the emerging leader, he kind of just really took on the challenge of bringing back this whole vision. And here we are today, announcing it and doing a call out for proposals and have the application out and getting these wonderful officers to tell you all about it.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And it looks like, I can't tell if we have, I know that Drew has been experiencing connection, and Patrice, can I pivot to you and ask, you know, are there any requirements to attend the summit or age restrictions for our youth to participate?
Yeah, I can go ahead and talk a little bit about that. So since we're going to be all virtual, I want to say our ranges are from 20 to 500 people can attend. For the age range, we're going to be having 16 to 27-year-olds, and you'll just go on any of our websites, Facebook or Instagram, click on the link to apply there. And I think the survey will just go over super basic stuff, what community you're representing, your name, and maybe why you want to attend. But yeah, everything will be virtual. So it's pretty much open to anyone who would like to come and have some chats with us. Sheesh.
Yeah, thank you for that. And just like a clarifying question, are there any costs associated, especially now that we're going virtual with attending?
There will be no cost. Just signing up and making sure your name is on the roster, just so we can plan and make sure we have everything ready to go.
Great. Great. And it looks like we received clarification that being that we've, for the health and safety of our communities, as we continue to navigate through the COVID pandemic, that being that this is going to be held virtual now, that our youth can register all the way up to the day before. So that's amazing what technology allows in this time to be able to jump in. And it looks like Drew is still trying to get that connection. So Drew, we appreciate you continuing to try to be here. And we'll stand by. A question for Sabina and Christiana. How should attendees prepare? Is there anything that they should bring? And I guess now that we have switched to virtual, that may have shifted as well. Can you guys share your how our participants should be ready to participate?
Yeah, so I think the main thing is just kind of come, with the issues that are important to the youth in mind. So, talking to family and community members and leaders and elders, and trying to identify, important issues for your community and then also for yourself, as a youth and like among other like friends and things like that. I think that's kind of would be a really great way to prepare, again, since it is virtual. And yeah.
I like some of the Sabrina's ideas. I was thinking about like bringing positive vibes and let us to see what issues going on in there and try to get everybody in and try to aware there's elders and stuff like that.
I want to add one more thing about registration. It looks like there is a early bird deadline for August 1st. And so if you get your survey in before then, your name will be in the mix for a cool swag bag gear. So if you get your registration in before August 1st, you can be eligible for that swag bag.
Thank you for that. We're always about the swag. Like, what are those? That's awesome. This is a question for all of you, and please feel free to just jump in and share your thoughts. But and we've talked about it a little bit especially with the sharing that the summit was going to be in person. We were also hopeful that we had kind of hit this turn in the pandemic where we were looking and considering it in person, but it has quickly pivoted to virtual. Is COVID affecting the way the summit will work, and will it look different in a post-pandemic world? If you guys can share your thoughts on what it will look like this year, but also like what are our hopes and dreams and moonshot about what it will look like in the future?
Well, I'm gonna say really quick about this, but it will be a little bit different because we lost some people and they won't be able to come. And then, but mostly we get to see family and friends, but we're probably gonna be a little bit afraid going outside and like stuff being touching people or someone else because COVID has gone through really bad times with us, and we know that we lost some people from it, but I believe we could be getting along, but it's going to be a lot different than others.
Are there any other thoughts about like the hopes and dreams of what this will look like post-pandemic for our youth summit when we're able to come back together in person and be amongst each other?
I'm just hoping I don't have to fight with my connection next year. So
us all, right? Us all, that you never know. It's like we could be all teed up and ready to go, and then the good old living in Southeast Alaska, like whether or not your connection shows up. Tia?
I love that, Drew. You don't know how many times that's happened to me this year. I just want to touch with what you talked about, Sarah. I just want to say that Tlingit and Haida maintains the importance of keeping our tribal citizens and our community safe. So as such, as we stated before, our summit will be held virtually this year. Some ways that this will affect the summit will include long video conferencing days, which we all love, right? Meetings and networking virtually rather than in person. Hands-on projects will be exciting adventure as we learn over the screen. But I'm hopeful that next year, post-pandemic, we'll be hosting the Youth Summit in person. Next year, we're hoping to have talking circles, meetings, workshops. We'll have meals together and just all of the entertainment in person, see each other. It'll be great. I'm excited and I'm very hopeful for that. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Christiana, it looks like you have your hand up too. Do you want to add?
The fun thing after pandemic, we get to see our family members that I know that my mom was up in Alaska for got to see my baby nieces and nephews. It's the only hardest thing. I know that cases are rising in pandemic in Alaska more faster than ever, and I just want people to like be more paying attention with COVID and to see how bad it is. I don't want any of my family and friends being on the bed and being on the ventilators. I would want people to be able to see everybody through after the post-pandemic, be gathering and able to go off to like vacation with families and friends or with someone else like that.
So we were talking about like the topics our presenters, and before we go, I just think that's so important that we kind of put that call out, you know, what's that saying, that baseball saying, if you build it, they will come. And our youth commission right now, you're building it. You're building this space for a safe space for our youth to have a voice and to put forward those priorities. And so what is the call for proposals, and who does this apply to? Who are we hoping to see put proposals forward? And this is for all of you. So go ahead and share your what you're hoping to see in proposals. Are there particular areas that you're hoping to see for proposals? Language, culture, tribal leaders?
Yeah, I think those that you just said, that would be great. Culture and language bearers, community leaders, tribal leaders, you know, elders, tribal government, and, you know, people working in other organizations that would be, you know, would want to kind of partner with the Youth Commission and, you know, with the summit and, you know, maybe form kind of like long lasting relationships. I think that would be really awesome. So anyone who, you know, might be involved in something that they think would be relevant, I think, you know, we're pretty open as far as that goes, but yeah.
I want to see a few storytellers come in. If we could get some cultural storytellers to put in some proposals, that'd be really good.
Yeah, that'd be so amazing. I mean, we just have such, I think, you know, we have over 33,000 tribal citizens across the world. And I truly believe that we have all the knowledge and skills within us, you know, and not only within, I know that we're like looking outward right now, but like even those of you that are here on there, like, have any of you ever considered putting a proposal? You know, have you thought about being that presenter and kind of sharing that space? You guys are each individually, leaders, I think sometimes we get in the habit of saying emerging or putting, those descriptors on the front that can be limiting at times. I remember trying to figure out, what does that mean? Like when you say emerging, or what does that mean when you say youth? And something that I would just want to share as we kind of go through and close out is that you each are leaders. You're leaders amongst your peers. Those of us that are in positions are looking to you because you have a lens and perspective in our communities that we might have, shifted from or are not seeing. And so I just also encourage when we say proposals, and we're asking for those experts, we're also asking for our youth. If you feel passionate about something, if you feel like you really have something that you can help elevate the voice of our community to put your name through. And if you feel like I'm looking at any of you, I am. So I'm looking at our youth commission and thinking about, our co-hosting, Drew, I think about you saying storytellers, is there a storyteller that you could co-host with that might, like many of us, be, shy or bashful to get into these spaces. So thank you for sharing that. This is a question in general, and if for the group, but I know that Tlingit Haida has been working really hard to host this event, to hold up the work of the Youth Summit. And will there be any sorts of financial assistance to those that attend virtually that might not have the resources, and just who are those other organizations that are supporting us? And Renee, I know that you've been kind of on both ends of it with the advisors and the commission. Is this an area or a question that you can help lift up? Who's been kind of backing the work, this amazing work?
Sure, yeah. The Navigators program that lifts up the Youth Commission has called in partners, and we were very intentional about the partners that we called in, ensuring that those that we were inviting to the table are ones that we know will take a backstage to our youth's voices and not take over and put in our own thoughts and expectations, our own issues. So Alaska Association of Alaska School Boards always holds up Navigators and will just does a great job in providing funding assistance, support. Pretty much we can reach out and ask them for anything. I have also been fortunate to have Juneau Suicide Prevention Coalition and the Zach Gordon Youth Center come to the table and help us as well. We do have a Navigator youth who was one of our very first Navigator youth, Alex Caesar, and I'd like to just give a shout out to him because he's been attending our planning meetings and really is giving voice to when, for example, there was a question during planning, is this going to happen every year? And I'm like, I'm sure we need to. And I'm sure if I was asked that, we would be, Tlingit Haida would say yes. And Alex said, we need to have this every year. And so it really puts my feet to the fire and says, yes, this is going to be happening every year. So let's see, those are the partners. And 100% Navigators and the Youth Commission are all about accessibility. Christiana talked about her efforts to increase the accessibility for those who have difficulty hearing. And so at all of our Youth Summit events, we will have interpreters that can be seen by the public attending. And then on the application itself, there is a question that you have the opportunity to answer if you have any kind of limitations that don't allow you to attend. If your laptop is broken, if you live in a household that is wild and crazy and you need a set of noise canceling headphones, these are things that you can identify on your application, and we will do our very best to try to make ways so that you can attend the youth summit. We want to make sure that youth from wherever you're at can come and attend. So no cost, and we want to try to make it as accessible as possible to the youth.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And you know, something that just came to mind as I see the up on the screen, those partners, if there are organizations that are tuning in today that support the work of the Youth Commission, who is a great point of contact if they want to sponsor, you know, some of the work that's being done, you know, this year virtually, but then moving forward, who should they get in contact with?
I do believe that there will be a slide here coming up that has my contact information on it. And so certainly they can reach out to myself in the Navigators program and, you know, just let me know what you're interested in and how you would like to uplift this amazing group of youth. Not just these youth, but this group, this commission is really bringing their peers to the table and saying collectively as a group, let's talk about the issues that we're passionate about. And if you're passionate about lifting up that, then give me a call, send me an email.
Girls, sheesh, I'm already thinking of those that could be stepping in and supporting this amazing work. One other awesome thing that our Youth Commission has been doing, and I think this is the second year of it, is the Youth Commission and Navigators have been busy this summer with many events, you know, especially preparing for this upcoming summit. Can someone share about this amazing Our Ways Summer Days Challenge and when does that close and what is that about? I mean, that just sounds awesome and such a great opportunity for our youth.
I can touch on that if nobody else wants to go right away. So this is our second annual, I believe, and the end date is going to be July 31st. We will notify the contest winners early September. And I just wanted to share a little bit. My favorite thing about this challenge is seeing all of the youth practicing our way of life, whether that be harvesting, picking berries, taking photos in their regalia of them doing song and dance. It uplifts me, and I like to see it. It's great. I hope we do this every year, and that's just something I look forward to in the summertime, is seeing youth from all over participating in this challenge. Thank you.
Yeah, I love seeing all the photos when you see our youth tagging that Our Ways Summer Days. It's just the activities of being out there. And if you look on the slide, there's some pretty awesome prizes as well, you know, for just sharing the activities that you're doing. And we hope youth will use that tagline, Our Ways Summer Days, on the Tlingit Haida Challenge. And I wonder, you know, if moving forward, thinking about creating like a twist on it, like if, you know, kind of like we all know what it's like to come to gold medal and that rivalry of cross town, cross village. It's like if an iteration of this next year is like a village challenge of how many youth from each village, and if their school or their program gets like a incentive for that. There's nothing more than having like some gold medal vibe or feel to a challenge like that. But I share that because I remember, I think last year, like Angoon was just representing on the Our Ways Summer Days. Like it was super awesome. So our youth from Cake and Prince of Wales, Huna, Klakwan, Sitka, like get out there, share your photos. We want to see those. It looks like, you know, we're about 10 minutes left, and I'm just enjoying it so much that I'm losing track of how many questions that we still have left. So there might have to be a part 2 to this conversation. This is a question for all of you, and I see that, you know, questions are trickling in from the live feed, and this might speak to some of it. But if someone is interested in being a delegate, how do they apply, and what are the requirements? Is there any of you that would like to share that, or can I call on Renee? Maybe if you can speak to, you know, what does that mean to be a delegate?
Head Tia.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Renee. I just wanted to touch base on this a little bit. The election of our officers will be held June of 2022. So we have it every 2 years. And so the election that we had last month for the Youth Commission was June 16th for our newly elected officers, if that helps you. And when we have that new election in 2022, we take in three delegates from each community, and I'll have Renee establish that a little bit more, as we're still trying to learn here. So if she wants to add anything to that, she can go into that as well.
Yes, I'm just actually looking at my notes and seeing possibly why there was a little pause in that. I have on our notes that elections are to be held annually, and that the next one will be held in 2022. That's not exactly annual. I mean, yeah, so it is. Let's see, we had our first election this last June, and they'll be there for okay, back up for 1 second. The Youth Commission, when you are identified as a delegate, when your application is put in and you are chosen for that community, you hold delegate position for 2 years. The officer, when you're elected to be an officer, you hold that for 1 year within your 2-year delegates. And so we'll hold another election in June next year.
Awesome. And I think we did this at the beginning, but can we just do a sound off of the officers that we have on today, and just acknowledge, you know, those of you that are a part of the commission and the roles that you have? And Tia, if we can go down and just like go through again. I know that we did that in our introductions, but it'd be great for our tribal citizens and community to hear, you know, how each of you have stepped into a role of leadership to carry this important work forward. Tia, can I kick off to you and then kind of run through just based on your roles?
Yeah, thanks, Sarah. So our last meeting that we had, we kind of established that we want to rotate our roles. But right now, since President Joe Hilaire is absent due to a family emergency, I would step in to kind of take that on. The purpose of rotating our roles during this time is we want all of our officers to be well-rounded. So by the time that they're done with these positions, they'll know how to run from the president's point of take of the meetings, the vice presidents, the secretary, and the at-large. So right now we're just kind of establishing those and seeing how we're going to rotate it through. But right now I help create the agendas and such like that, and step in when Joe is absent. So that is what I do currently. Thank you.
Goodness, sheesh.
So I am the second VP, so I'm just kind of here to learn from Tia a lot on what she's doing, and then step in to help if she were to need it.
Hi, Patrice here. I took on the secretary role, and mostly because I wanted to learn, like Tia is saying, an overall role of each of the parts. And so I think that being the secretary kind of it kind of forces me to be more involved and to be paying attention and to be listening. And so I wanted to challenge myself in that way. Sheesh.
I am one of the officers, member at large for helping out for. Crap. I'm kind of stuck on this. I'm trying to figure out how to say it. I I I feel a little bad for being stuck. And for me, I want to be in a member at large to be helping out for others that are gathering younger youth to be in youth commission or try to get older. I don't know. I'm not sure, and I want to participate with the leadership with my member at large.
Yeah, I think as Christiana was saying, I think the great thing about the member at large position is it's a really great kind of way to get introduced to like these leadership roles and just kind of getting a sense for, if that would be something that is for you. So that was kind of what drew me to the position was, I just wanted to gain some experience. And I think it's just a really great way to do that, where you can, learn from each other, as Tia was saying, and kind of get some leadership experience like that.
Awesome. And I'm going to pivot a little bit because we were starting to do this here before I go to other opportunities that our youth can do. But what's some advice? What's some advice that each of you have to our youth that are, in this? They might be on the fence about how to get involved. Maybe they feel like that their voice, what are some tips? What are some words of advice now that you have a few meetings under your belt and you're starting to see this kind of, come to life? What are some words of wisdom? Drew, I see you unmuted. Do you want to share like any thoughts on tips?
Yeah, so I was gonna say, just sign up, keep an eye out, because there's always some kind of commission, some kind of group project, something that you can sign up for to work your way in. And, if you really want to, there's a lot of things you can do to help out your community in Southeast Alaska. I mean, most of the time, all you got to do is log on Facebook and, there's something to see, something to sign up for, something to do, some way to help out. And so you just got to keep an eye out, and, opportunities are there. Just take them.
Geez, such great advice. Patrice, can we go Patrice, Christiana, Tia? I see your hands up.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, I agree with Drew. If you're thinking about signing up, if you want to apply, just go for it. And even if you're not in one of these positions, there's a role for all of us here. It takes a full community of people to come together and share ideas. And so say you're not one of the leaders here, that's totally okay. Everyone has a part in this. So just, if you're thinking about it, go for it, do it, reach out to one of us. Everyone here has been so positive for me. I'm definitely nervous all the time. I get anxious. I definitely make phone calls to people and I have to talk to people prior. Everyone's welcome to that. They're very open. And so if you want to, just go for it, try it out, reach out to one of us. We'll be willing to help you out as well.
Geez, Christiana and then Tia.
Okay, I would say that words of wisdom, don't be shy. It's a place where you can have a voice being in the commission and to learn more of your leadership, and you get to be in the most sacred matter around being around with the youth commission and get to tell the elders or the people are in the other type of meetings that are bigger than us, try to get us aware of that, what kind of issues in it. So don't be shy joining. You should be joined, and you would have so much fun to make more new friends and stuff like that.
Such great words. Some of my friendships that I have are just even networks are from individuals that I've, went to events with when I was younger and just maintained that. So such great words shared about just stepping forward and leaning into the voice and power that we each have collectively. Tia?
Thank you, Sarah. I just want to kind of talk about what everybody was just talking about. If you're thinking about signing up, I want to just say, just do it. There's many times where I thought, like, should I join? Oh, I don't know. And then I finally just went through with it. And it's one of the best decisions that I've made because I get to collaborate with all of my officers, everybody, all of the delegates. This is a safe space. This is a space where we created for us to be successful together. And we want to pull more youth in, and we want everybody to freely collaborate so we can better our communities. So that's something I encourage. If anybody is wanting to sign up and they're just kind of iffy about it, definitely reach out to one of us. I take phone calls from all of our delegates at all hours of the day. I don't mind if anybody needs to contact me, if they need to discuss Youth Commission a little bit more in depth. I don't mind doing that, but yeah, get your voice out there, make them heard. Thank you.
Sheesh. And we're coming up on one. We're just a little bit on one. So thank you so much for our, tribal citizens and community members that have tuned in today and listened to our youth commission and the important work that they're doing for our communities and the support with Renee and her team and everyone that's behind the scenes. One other opportunity before we close out the afternoon is we have Tlingit Haida has the Emerging Leader Program, and that is a position that serves on the Executive Council for a one-year term and provides tribal youth citizen opportunities to acquire important knowledge about Tlingit Haida's governing and organizational structure, valuable hands-on leadership experience, and the election of Tlingit Haida's Emerging Leader will take place at this upcoming Tribal Assembly, the 86th Annual Tribal Assembly. The requirements are you must be an enrolled Tlingit Haida tribal citizen, ages 18 to 26, and must submit an application. And that deadline is coming September 24th. We've just had so many our youth, so that's just like the next step. We have our youth commission. And one thing that I'd add here is I see this emerging leader position as a real catalyst for the commission. This individual that's participating and is elected and voted by our delegates, kind of has that ability to be a unifier and a connector. And so I hope those that are on with us today on the Youth Commission, just gonna encourage you guys to, if you haven't already, to put your name forward, but also our other youth. If our community members see somebody that fits this criteria that might need that nudge, and encourage them to put their name forward. And I just know that we have so many amazing youth. We want to close out the chat today and thank our tribal citizens and community members for joining us. The panelists, thank you for taking the time today to be here and share about the Youth Commission and the upcoming summit. Let's see, we'll go ahead and have questions. We did have questions come through that were shared with us, and we'll work to get questions answered via, offline through communications. But probably a thing that we've all been waiting for is you have the opportunity for the drawing. So if you tuned in and you liked the chat, you had the opportunity to be entered in for the random drawing. And today's winners are, and please, if I say your name wrong, I apologize. Simona Lundy, who has won the David Boxley Formline shirt, and Christina Davis won the Tlingit Haida Hydro Flask. So congratulations on the random drawings. And with that, we'll go ahead and we'd like to thank everybody for participating and being here, for sharing your voice and time. And we look forward to the next time that we're together on the Lunchtime Chat. Have a good afternoon, everybody. During the cheesh.
Cheers.